Howdy, ladies and gentlemen. David Michael Bennett here. I'm just gonna wear a new hat every time I do one of these videos. Is that cool? Cool. Well, you gotta have some gimmick. Kids won't pay attention to your videos if you don't. Anyways, this hat really hurts my head. It's pinching my forehead and my temples. But, you know, sometimes fashion is pain. And pain is painful. Here we are at video number 8 of the Vice Quadrant Show Fortnight Countdown. Today we're going to be talking about Daughter of Space and Star Valley Night. We're doing this countdown because we're counting down to a very special show in San Diego, California. Saturday, January 16th, 2016. Steam Powered Giraffe will be performing this album release show of the Vice Quadrant album release variety. And we got VIP experience that you can buy. And you can get your picture with the band, see our sound check, and get some behind the scenes fun information about how we do the show and what it takes 4 to 6 people to do to make one of them happen. Daughter of Space was a song I wrote well before Fire. It was a song that I also did not really write for Steam Powered Giraffe. However, once I came about with the idea for Fire, I knew Daughter of Space was going to be part of that story. It wasn't originally. The song was actually kind of a love song for someone I was having the mushy-gushy feelings for at the time. I didn't really know the person, so, you know, as most stupid love songs are written in that first state of bliss when you're enjoying someone's company. Not when, you know, you're like, I'm kind of over the person. However, like most songs I write, it's never usually about a single idea, even if it's like personally about being in love or something. It's about a new character. So, you know, I don't have to like put my heart on my sleeve for every song. There's more creativity than just that. It speaks more than just my feelings. It actually speaks to a story about a space being who just happened to kill a bunch of people, and then one of those people that survived fell in love with her. And it sounds kind of weird, but hold on. So, the Daughter of Space comes from a backstory that we have not really revealed. But let me just set you up for this information. The Daughter of Space was born in the cosmos. It says in the song that that's what happens. My idea with the Daughter of Space was kind of a being who was going through their adolescence. They were going maybe through everything in a very short amount of time, because if you're born in the cosmos, I imagine you don't have a nice grasp of time. Maybe this being was around for eons, or maybe a few seconds. Who knows? Because in the cosmos, time just is weird. You know, I remember hearing that they sent like the DNA of people up into space, and like maybe Stephen Colbert's was up there and a bunch of other people. And I don't know, I didn't really look into it, but I don't think it's the actual blood. I think it's just the data sequences of DNA in a satellite or a probe or something they sent up into space. I should probably look that up. But when I heard about that, I was like, that gives me an idea. What if that probe did actually contain human DNA, and, you know, we just sent it out? And maybe this probe was sent out in this fictional universe where space travel and technology advanced from the 1930s, 40s, and actually became a thing. and maybe it was sent out around that time. And the DNA maybe mushed with some nebulae or black holes or supernovas. And what if, because the human DNA was in there, it merged with the cosmos and somehow gave birth to a human born from the stars? Obviously, it doesn't go into the details of how that would happen, as it is just a fantasy science fiction kind of stuff. But that was the idea behind the Daughter of Space. And then, since she doesn't know what humans are, she doesn't know what they are when she sees them. I don't want to go too much into the backstory, because now I'm getting to the part where we don't want to give away all the cool backstory stuff before we have a chance to package it nicely for you. But yes, essentially, she doesn't know what these humans are, and she happens to kill them. But I can tell you, and maybe this is spoilers, maybe it's not, that it was unintentional. It's one of those things where she maybe whipped her hair around, and oh no, my hair's made of lasers, and it sliced their spaceships in a bunch of parts. I imagine this was a squadron of spaceships, in some reality where Buck Rogers and stuff like that was maybe the norm. So I imagined a fleet of spacecraft flying around Earth, and oh boy, here comes this space monster. But in reality, it turns out it's just misunderstood and happened to murder a bunch of people. Like happens in real life all the time. So, this song, the astronaut falls in love with the daughter of space. And that's what happened. And he's now living in the stars. It's a nice song. It's very repetitive, but sometimes the simple songs are some of the most catchiest. And I completely redid this song. I recorded it a few times in the past. I don't think I've shared it with anyone that I remember. But then I wanted it on the Steam Powered Giraffe album. So it played into the story just swell. The next song I'm going to talk about is Star Valley Night. This is a very interesting song. I wasn't actually going to be on the album. It wasn't really about space. But the further we went along with recording everything, I was like, yeah, you know what? This will be another song where there's star in the title, because I thought that was funny, and why not? I mean, if you're going to try to avoid the star in space for every lyric, you might as well just not, and just go with it. And that was my thought process. And the song actually kind of, I think, diffuses the album a bit, because it's not necessarily about, we're in space, flying around, look at that star, and that one too, and that planet. It kind of breaks up a little. Now it's talking about, you're just looking up at stars on Earth, right? It's a little more interesting. Not the same old space stuff that you got the rest of the 20-some-odd songs. Well, I guess Hold Me doesn't really talk about space. And there's a few others too. There's progress in technology as well. Well, at any rate, it kind of gives a nice acoustic-y feel to the album that wasn't there before. This was actually a pretty old song. We actually performed it at Balboa Park, back when the band was still doing street performing. So probably 2008-ish. It was a fun song. However, once I approached it again after not performing it on the streets for many years, I definitely made some changes. Some of the lyrics actually stayed. The whole shooting a clown with a cannon at a factory full of fireworks. The big notable difference, for me at least, was the bass line. I'm pretty proud of that bass line because I came up with it, and I don't play bass too often. For me, it's like the hard-hitting part of it. With the drums and stuff, it's pretty catchy to me. Even without the lyrics, it's like anyways, listen to the song, and I'm pretty sure you'll be tapping your foot if you haven't heard it already. And now, just pay attention to that bass line, because, it's super sweet. It's a great one. If I do say so myself, good job, David. You really are arrogant now about that cool bass line that you did. But yeah, that song was gonna be a little too much. I think everyone was kind of feeling the fatigue of like, boy, this is another song that we gotta record. But I'm glad it made it into the album, along with all the other songs that might have been cut. Just because it showed us that we can make a bunch of songs in a little amount of time. And by little, I mean a lot amount of time, because it's actually the most time we spent on an album ever. It wasn't just a year, we started recording this stuff like 2 years before that. Which is probably the only way that we could have done this album. At any rate, that's all I want to talk to you about now. Man, that's all I want to talk to you about today. Oh man, English is still hard. It also might be because this hat is cutting off the circulation to my brain and the hard thinkings. It's also pretty hot, even though it's winter. At any rate, join us tomorrow, where we will have Bunny talking about Commander Cosmo and Gigi the Giraffe song. We are halfway to the show date, so if you haven't purchased your tickets, visit the links below, and we hopefully will see you there
at the show, January 16th, 2016. 7 p.m. VIP experience. Get the tickets. Button leader.